Yo guys, this is Reinhardt and I'm gonna be making this video about the Affliction Lock, the actual Affliction Lock mechanics, and the difference about the Affliction Lock, because here's what I believe they're gonna be happening with Affliction Locks. Overall, our AoE damage gonna go down, our pet damage is gonna go down, our personal individual level damage is gonna go drastically up. The reason why I'm saying that is, first of all, I want you guys to look at this Tongue Lash, which is the same as a Shadow Bite. The thing about this one is basically that it no longer does more damage depending on the amount of actually debuffs we're gonna be having on the target enemy. In that respect, it does 4800 damage right now, so probably can crit up to like what, 8k, but it's not gonna be critting for 24 to 30k that sometimes our pet does when we're gonna have full damages. In PvP, it's not gonna be happening very often right now where our pet gets a huge crit, but in PvE it does a lot. It happens so much times that a Fell Hunter is basically a mandatory pet for at least Demonology and the Affliction Locks when it comes to PvE. So with that pet, how does the PvE will be affecting PvP? Well, if our pet no longer be doing this crazy amount of damage, that means that our personal damage has to go up by itself, and this is where I'm gonna be talking about the overall mechanics of Affliction Locks. So let's start with the first dot, Bane of Agony. Take a look, guys, at this one. Attack it. Bane of Agony. So I applied Bane of Agony, right? And you see how it does the stacking, and it actually updates a tooltip on how much damage it's gonna be doing, and it stacks up to 10 times, if you guys can see. And after 10 stacks, it no longer actually gonna be increasing, so it's only 10 stacks. Now if we refresh the Affliction Locks during those 10 stacks, it's still gonna be at 10 stacks. That means that we're gonna have to constantly refreshing it, and the tooltip says it's over 24.5 seconds. The limit though is 35 seconds when you refresh it because of Everlasting Affliction, which I believe should be in our passive masteries. Yeah, it's not here. Oh well. So that's basically it. The Everlasting Affliction is can increase our max dot duration to 35 seconds, and it's actually very needed, and I'm gonna be explaining you guys why. Another thing is though is Bane of Agony. Bane of Agony is only can be applied on one target at a time. What that means, that in RBGs our damage is actually gonna go down. You see, I did 2 refreshes and it goes up to 34-35 seconds. So with that said, if our damage is actually AoE damage is going down, our single target damage has to be going up. For the corruption, it's gonna be the same thing. The only thing I want you guys measure here is, look at this. It's actually beautiful. Now it shows how the haze affects our procs, and it actually shows here how many every seconds does it do procs. Now we can also refresh the corruption and unstable affliction. The only thing that I don't like about it is that we actually losing the Siphon Life. Siphon Life is a passive that gives us about 2% of our HP 50% of the time when our corruption does damage. So anyway, so I'm gonna be applying these 3 dots over here, and I'm gonna be actually doubling the duration of it. So I recasted it twice. As you guys can see, it's way over that what it's supposed to be doing it. Another thing is though, the Fell Flame refreshes duration on both Unstable Affliction and the Corruption, which I think is actually very, very handy. Now you guys see the hunt? The hunt actually got through major changes. It no longer has a cooldown, and it increases damage by 40% overall. Increase all damage, not only our dots. So in that retrospect, it's actually really good, and it costs 1 soul shard. It doesn't cost any mana anymore, and it's not gonna be healing us back. So with that said, we're losing quite a sum of a healing, but the hunt is actually gonna be pretty damn amazing. So let's apply all the dots on this guy really quick. So I'm applying all the dots, and I'm gonna be putting Hunt on him. And look at the damage right now. As you guys can see, the damage actually goes a lot faster with the Hunt. And I'm sorry for the backpedaling because I don't have a decent keybinds. So anyway, let me scroll out here. So that was our main type of burst situation. Now the feed that is gonna actually make our dots do a lot of damage is this one, Malefic Grasp. Binds the target in Twilight, causing 12,300 shadow damage over 2.3 seconds. In addition, your periodic effects take 100% faster while afflicted by Malefic Grasp. Recasting the spell also finishes and boosts the duration by 3 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. So basically, the way I see what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna apply all the dots. We're gonna refresh it maybe once. We're gonna put the Hunt, and then we're gonna be fucking with Malefic Grasp really hardcore. And the last thing I want you guys to see is actually pretty cute talent over here. And basically Demon Soul became different. It's no longer actually depending on what kind of pets we have. It's basically on what kind of specs we are in. And for Affliction, Demon Soul is gonna be called Dark Soul Misery, and it's gonna infuse our soul with the misery of the fallen foes, increasing our haste by 30% for 20 seconds. Passive, it gives us 5% haste, but this effect is disabled while it's on cooldown. So we have to be using it really wisely. So now I'm gonna put my pet on passive, and I want you guys to see the potential damage of the Affliction Lock. And needless to say, these mobs have roughly 158k HP, and my luck sitting and chilling at about 11,000 spell power, and this guy is sitting at how much spell power? 7,200. So this guy is gonna be missing about like 3,000 spell power from what it is right now. So let's take a look, and let me actually find the map over here so I could test this shit out. Whatever. Opening the spell book. Mounts. I remember one guy posting the thing is like, yo, this is depresses me. The people who are testing the beta are all clickers. Well, no shit, we're all clickers, because all our keybinds are not there, and all our add-ons for the bars are not there also. So of course we're gonna be clickers. So anyway, we have this guy over here. I'm applying all dots on him, and I'm gonna refresh it. There, refresh to a full duration. I'm gonna pop this, and now I'm gonna be doing Malefic Grasp. Look at the damage, look how fast it actually ticked. But we can go even further than that. By the way we regenerate them is through the Drain Soul cast, Drain Soul ticks, which is amazing. That's how we regenerate the shards. Drain Soul ticks, which are, let's see, over here. And in addition to that, through a Nightfall Frax, which is corruption basically. So this time I'm gonna be applying the misery. So misery applying Hunt. Every 2.1 seconds. This is gonna be basically the burst situation, where all we have to do is just pop our Dark Soul Misery and apply 3 dots with a Hunt up and do a Malefic Grasp. So instead of just applying 3 dots over and over again and putting in a Hunt, and then make sure that our pet was actually on the target itself too, that one we were trying to kill, and maybe doing a Drain Life so our pet's Shadow Bite will do a little bit more damage, this is actually changing for quite the opposite, in terms of we are all responsible for our overall damage. And I think it's borderline amazing. This alone will put the locks viable for 2v2 scenarios. I think it's actually gonna be hella fun doing 2v2 as Affliction Lock. In RBGs, it's gonna be a bit of a problem because we are heavily dependent on applying our aids as much as possible, but I think it's gonna be easily fixed with a glyph of Unstable Affliction. So guys, let's reiterate. You're applying all the fucking aids on the target. You're gonna be probably doing a couple of refreshes first, and then you're gonna put in Hunt, and then you're gonna Malefic Grasp their ass. the only thing I don't like about the Malefic Grasp is it doesn't show how often does it tick for when you're channeling it, because I would like to see actually what's the tick time for the dots. So guys, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked what you've seen, please subscribe, give it a like, because I'm gonna be trying to release as much Miss Pandaria as possible for you. I kinda got over this whole real life issue and situation that I had last week, so I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to actually providing you guys with a more awesome content. And DK lovers, trust me, I didn't forget about you. DK is still gonna be my main class, and I will be releasing a DK footage, but let me actually figure out the lock, because lock's undergoing the major changes out here. This is what I like about also Malefic Grasp. If you recast it, it doesn't disappear. It doesn't refresh, it just increases the duration, and it stacks up to 5 times, which I think is kind of a smart concept. PvE wise, I also believe Affliction Warlocks are gonna be good. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you for watching, and до свидания.